Hi everybody, Ty Lord here with a movie pickups video. Got all kinds of good stuff this week, all just movies on this video. I have a wonderful package from the Physical Media Mac. Sent me a huge package full of movies, and I haven't seen everything in there. I just opened it up and it was overwhelming, so I was kind of wanted to unpack it live. Other than that, I found some VHS tapes. I'm turning into one of those VHS weirdos. And maybe one or two other pickups. I'll get to them right now. Let's blow through them. I'll get to the PWM package at the end to save the best for last. Let's start off with Rasputin's Find. I didn't want to spend a lot of money this week. I spent about $9 and I got like 18 VHS tapes here. A lot of stuff I want from my man cave, but some of the stuff I thought it might be worth money. I don't think it is. Some of this stuff, all of this stuff is worth more than 50 cents a piece, but nothing's super high priced on eBay from what I saw. One of them might be up to like $30. So I could probably profit on this pretty well if I sold all of this, but I think it's just going in the man cave video store thing I'm gonna do eventually. So out of these VHSs I found, the Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, John Candy, Demi Moore movie, Nothing But Trouble, comedy movie from the 90s, kind of horror themed. It kind of feels like a horror movie. Really has some disturbing imagery and kind of a scary plot, but it's an overall comedy movie. The music's kind of feels like a comedy movie, but I think if this was edited a different way, it would feel more like a horror movie. Although it is sort of a horror movie. Directed by Dan Aykroyd. Really weird movie. A lot of weird effects and prosthetics and costumes. Really weird movie. I think Dan Aykroyd plays several characters in this. Here's Fritz Lang's Metropolis. I didn't have any copy of that. I thought that would be a good movie to have. Is this from 1927? Sort of like a class, a battle of the classes, like the poor working class that lives underground and the rich class that lives above ground, and there's robots, and it's a very visual, cool looking old movie. It's been a while. I think this is some kind of foreign. Was this a Canadian movie? I'm not really up to researching this movie, but yeah. So I've got to give that another watch again. I hate to admit I've never seen this one. The PWM's always hyping it up. Fortress with Christopher Lambert. Look at this cool looking robot on the back. Looks like a Cylon meets Terminator or something. Fortress anyway. I thought I'd get that one. I think this is also a Stuart Gordon movie, isn't it? Sorry about that. Yeah, Stuart Gordon directed this. Huey Lewis and the News video hits. I thought this might be worth something for 50 cents, but it looks like it's maybe only a couple bucks I could get for it, but I might just keep this for the collection. I want a new drug. A lot of videos on here. Heart and Soul, National Anthem, Heart of Rock and Roll. Don't Ever Tell Me That You Love Me. Like 10 or 12 videos on there. Here's one of my favorite TV shows. I'm not really a TV guy, but this was always my favorite TV show. The Incredible Hulk with Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno plays the Hulk. I just thought this show had so much heart to it and so much good acting and such good little stories that were compacted to an hour every episode, and none of them were connected to each other. They were all just little self-contained stories, and they were all really good. Sometimes there's 2-parters or 3-parters or whatever, but most of the time just a nice little story. Bill Bixby's a traveling hobo, wanted for murder for a crime he did not commit, and he turns into the Hulk. He tries to be such a good guy. He tries to just travel around and do his job. He always runs into trouble, and he always tries to make the best of it. He always tries to help people out. It always ends up getting into trouble, and he gets bullied, and eventually the Hulk comes out and cleans house. Pretty much same formula every episode, but they're all fantastic. I had to get Chitty Chitty Bang Bang with Dick Van Dyke. Ian Fleming wrote the James Bond novels, and it's also produced by Robert Broccoli, producer of James Bond, and then a lot of actors from the James Bond. Gert Frobe that played Goldfinger is in here. He's hilarious, and I think even Desmond Llewellyn that plays Q is in this. And let me see, is the director a Bond director? Oh, Ken Hughes. No. Fun little musical about the flying car with Dick Van Dyke and the kids. Alright. Oh, here's one of my favorite 80s movies. I'm so happy I found this. I don't know if it's worth anything. I'm going to keep it for sure. It's even got this science fiction section sticker on it from an old video store. The Explorers, the Joe Dante movie. One of my favorite Joe Dante movies. Really captured my imagination as a kid. These kids get messages from a space alien somehow. And one of them super smart. It's River Phoenix is like a scientist kid, and he somehow uses these messages from the aliens to build a spaceship so they can go meet these aliens. And it's got what's his name's in here? The main kid he's a big actor now. It doesn't have the cast on here. Ethan Hawke is the main kid in here. Really fun movie. I actually prefer this over Goonies or any other kid movie from the 80s. This is fantastic. They actually make this bubble that moves around they can move it around on a computer on a YZ axis graph. They just put in the coordinates, and this bubble will move around. It moves around in real time, and it can go as fast as they want it to, or anywhere they want, like up, down, left, right, forward, back. But eventually they can make it grow. They can increase the size of it. So they put this little crappy spaceship they made out of a tilt-a-whirl inside of that bubble, and then they can take that bubble, they put it out an oxygen mask and whatever, they go up into space. It's a really fun movie. They meet the aliens, and the aliens are characters in this. Okay, one of my favorite movies ever here. Eric Roberts, James Earl Jones, Sally Kirkland in Best of the Best, with the real stars are Eric Roberts and Philip Rhee. Fantastic. This is probably my favorite sports movie. I get teary-eyed a couple times in this, legit. Oh, there's the team back there. Chris Penn is one of them. Eric Roberts and Philip Rhee. A team of American karate team is going to go face the Korean karate team, which is the best karate team, or Taekwondo, whatever it is. It's more like pro wrestling at the end. They just do whatever they want, like MMA. There aren't any rules at the end, but the American team goes against the Korean team. The Korean team's led by Simon Rhee, Philip Rhee's brother. He doesn't play his brother in the movie, but it's played by Simon Rhee. So you can see like the choreography and the fight work between those two is like spot on. Like, you know, they've worked together all their lives, so it looks fantastic on film. And Eric Roberts fights James Liu, another big time Hollywood martial arts stunt guy at the end. A really cool story. I'm sorry, I prefer this to Karate Kid. I wish they would have a series of this, then I'd watch that TV series. Here's one of my childhood favorites, and I show it to my little girls and they like it. The Last Unicorn. I thought it was cool to get that on VHS. All-star cast there: Jeff Bridges, Mia Farrow, Angela Lansbury, and there were a few others I can't remember. Alan Arkin. All the voice work. I'm not sure who did the animation on this, if it was the same as the Lord of the Rings. Really nice, beautiful animation, though. It kind of reminds me of like how I would expect The Legend of Zelda to be back then when I played it on NES. Like, Christopher Lee. Oh, I forgot to mention Christopher Lee does a voice. It's not mentioned here. Plays the bad guy, so it's cool to have Christopher Lee's voice. To us, Mr. Bond, we are the best. Okay. Okay, here's Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro. Sybil Shepherd's in it, huh? And I know Jodie Foster's in there. And Harvey Keitel, Albert Brooks. Great cast. Who is Martin Scorsese, of course. Yeah, I did this. And I don't think I had this on VHS, so this might just stay there. Is this the classic cover? I don't think it is. It looks pretty cool though. It kind of looks like a taxi cab colors. Let's see. Oh, here's one of my wife's favorite. I like all of the Mel Brooks movies too. My wife is obsessed with them. Young Frankenstein. I found all kinds of good movies. 50 cents a piece. And this one belongs to Pat and Cindy in Martinez, California. I better not show their address. We have a hilarious movie with Gene Wilder plays Frankenstein's grandson, and he doesn't want any part of the reanimating the dead, but he gets sucked back into it. It's hilarious. What's his name? Feldman here. What's his name? The guy with the funny eyes plays Igor. And I think Madeline Kahn and Terry Garr's in here looking pretty hot. Yeah, Madeline Kahn's in there. Gene Hackman has a small role in this. Oh, Marty Feldman. How did I forget his name? Very hilarious spoof on like the old Frankenstein movie with Boris Karloff. Here's one I've never seen, but I always hear everyone hypes this up, so maybe I should watch it. I think it even had a Super Nintendo game adaptation, Warlock. And I know the VHSs are hot items as far as horror movies, so I thought I got this. I don't think it's worth much, but kind of a cool cover. Kind of is cool, demon devil shadow there, and I've never seen this. I'm ashamed to say. Richard Grant, Julian Sands, and it's set in, oh no, I think it's set in modern day. About this, oh, this sounds pretty scary actually. I don't know if I could handle that. I forgot if I had this or not. The Universal Soldier with Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. I can't remember who directed this. It doesn't say here about the enhanced, the biologically enhanced. I don't think they're robots, but they're super enhanced soldiers, and they can be controlled. They're super strong, super fast. And I think Van Damme goes rogue, and so does Lundgren, and Lundgren's trying to kill Van Damme, and Lundgren's still crazy, like. He still has his memories back when he was in Vietnam, and he used to like kill and butcher people and cut their ears off. Like, Universal Soldier though. And then here's one I'm ashamed I've never seen too as well. John Woo's Hard Boiled with Chow Yun Fat. I hear this is like the best of any action movie. Like, this is like what all movies inspired to be like since, and I kind of ashamed I've never seen it. But I got that one. I thought that was a nice pickup. Oh, here's one of my favorite 80s zombie slash post-apocalyptic movies, Night of the Comet. Fantastic fun dinosaur. I just read the last time the comet came, the dinosaurs disappeared. Well, this time the humans disappeared. There's a couple like zombies left, and there's maybe 5 or 6 regular humans left. It's 2 sisters, or I don't know if they're teenagers or early 20s. They're 2 sisters survive in this post-apocalyptic world. It's kind of a fun movie. They run into a couple of people. They're trying to find how this originated, this whatever caused this apocalypse or whatever. Remember, they end up in this underground facility. It's been a while since I've watched this. Directed by Tom Eberhardt from 1984. Yeah, fun post-apocalyptic zombie movie, Night of the Comet. I was glad to find that one. And here's a Chuck Norris movie, Code of Silence. And I don't think I've seen this one. Oh, it has Henry Silva. Maybe I have seen this. It's been a long time since I've seen these Chuck Norris movies. It sounds like a kidnapping or revenge action movie. Can't go wrong with Chuck. Zulu with Michael Caine, Stanley Baker. It has a cool cover. This is about the British soldiers battling the Zulu warriors in 1879. Probably a lot of good action and choreography, awesome, cool sets. And I think the music is done by John Barry. That's why I've always wanted to watch this. But that's another one I got to get back to. I might actually have and here's Alice, Sweet Alice, a horror movie. I thought maybe I struck gold with this, but it doesn't look like it's worth anything. This print might be worth some, I'm not sure. This is from 1977. I actually have Godzilla vs. Megalon from the same print, or from the same set, or series, or whatever. 9-year-old receives her first communion. She is loved by all. A young priest gives her a cross to wear around her neck, and her older sister Alice is jealous. The fateful Sunday arrives. We sit in the pews expectantly, and the spiritual setting is shattered by death most horrible. Who killed her? Is it the evil Alice? Is it a beast landlord? Is it some evil spirit? This tale of blood and death, not for the squeamish. Suspect everyone and don't believe everything you see. Never seen that one. I just thought I'd pick it up as a horror movie. Excellent. Okay, so that's on my VHS. How long did it take me to get through that? Man, I got a long way to go. Okay, before we get to Mr. PMM, PMM, before we get to his package he sent me, I wanted to share this movie. I just picked it up. I don't know why I didn't have it in my collection. Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. This is one I think of my dad. My dad and I used to watch this movie all the time. This is a fantastic, underrated 90s action movie. Really a nice budget, nice looking movie. It looks like it would be like a Van Damme or a Schwarzenegger movie. Super macho, manly movie. I don't think you can get any more macho or manly than this movie. Don Johnson pretty much plays the guy on the Marlboro ad. Cowboy with a cigarette, with a handkerchief. So he rides in rodeos, and he's a pop shot. He never misses with his pistol. Mickey Rourke's and his name is the Marlboro Man in the movie. And then Harley Mickey Rourke is a biker, always had a Harley, a badass, typical badass Harley riding dude. He knows martial arts, or he knows boxing. I guess he can. He's street fighter. Um, um, super. Uh, um, he's always smoking too, or drinking. No, I think he's drinking. This guy smokes. I can't remember. But anyway, and his name is Harley Davidson. That's the name of his characters, and they're a couple of outlaws or rebels. Don't want to play by anyone's rules. They have this bar they like to go to, and I forget the town. It's not Vegas. It's anyway, this bar they went to all their lives is run by Julius Harris, that played Teehee on Live and Let Die. He's in a lot of like Fred Williamson and Pam Grier movies. You know the guy when you see him. He's called like old man or old daddy or something in this. He runs this bar that they like, and he's like their father figure. And the people in the bar are like all their buddies, like they grew up with him, like they were all orphans or whatever. And one of them's this Mexican or Hispanic guy, and his name is Jose Cuervo. And then there's this big buff guy, like 7 feet tall, 350 pounds, 400 pounds, named Jack Daniels. And it's played by Big John Studd, the wrestler. And this is probably like his biggest role. I've never seen, when I was a kid, I actually forgot that Big John Studd was in this. He's like an arm wrestler. He's in the bar. And there's a couple other guys in there. They're their buddies. But the bank's trying to shut them down. So they want to rob the bank. This Don Johnson and Mickey Rourke, all these guys and their buddies, they're going to go rob an armored truck and rob the bank. And I really like the look and feel of this movie, like the night lights, the city night lights, and and everything. Anyway, they pull off this heist. It's very easy for them. They still they hijack this bank truck, and they take the bags of money out. And then all of a sudden, all of these guys that in like these like Kevlar shiny, like Japanese looking trench coats come out with all those assault automatic rifles, like those really high tech ones. This is from like the early 90s, but they still seem like high tech. Those zippy guns they have, like they're like Israeli or something. They come out and they're walking like the Terminators, all these guys in these black coats, and they're all of a sudden they're attacking them. Like, man, that's some hard security there. But it turns out like the money is not really money. It's this new drug called like Crystal Dream. It's like the drug of the movie, and it's super deadly and super valuable on the streets. And the bank is just a front for this drug dealing operation, and these guys get involved with it. So these trench coat wearing, machine gun wielding assassins are after them the whole movie. And then one of them is it William Baldwin is the top assassin guy, and he's pretty scary in this. And then the main bad guy that runs the bank is Sizemore. What's his name? Tom Sizemore. He's really plays a good role in this, like a really slimy guy. You just want to see him get his at the end. And another thing, Don Johnson, at one point in the movie, like this bike cop is chasing him just after like some random scene. A bike cop is chasing him, and it's this bike chase through the city. I forget if it's in Vegas or the other city this was set in. But the bike cop ends up catching him when he gets to his apartment or whatever, and then the cop gets off the bike, and it's this hot female, and she rubs up against him and tackles him, and it turns out to be like his lady friend. Like, that was a cool setup, like this. And then they go and do it in there in the apartment. It turns out she's getting married and because this guy doesn't want to settle down. Just typical stuff. It's freaking awesome. And she's like, I'm moving on. I'm marrying this guy. Oh, it's actually her apartment. And the guy's motorcycle's there, and he ends up stealing the motorcycle. This movie is so freaking macho. Vanessa Williams is in here. She plays actually Big John Studd's wife in this. So I don't know if any wrestlers ever landed Vanessa Williams, I think, in a movie. So you got to give it to Big John Studd. Anyway, I went on too long about that. Fantastic movie. Directed by Simon Windsor. Don Johnson and Mickey Rourke. Really cool movie. Julius Harris from Live and Let Die is in there. Tia Carrera's in it too. Okay, now we'll get to the box full of packing peanuts and movies from Physical Media Mac. I'm running out of room here. I'm gonna have to start throwing this stuff on the floor. Okay. This box is wedged in there. I'd show you how big this box is, but it's already wedged in there. The Line, La Linea. The Line, La Linea with Ray Liotta and Danny Trejo. And Andy Garcia, wow. I don't know if I'm going to get to that one or not. The Standoff at Sparrow Creek with a bunch of people I don't recognize. I think he may have talked about this one. He quarantines a few militiamen at a lumber mill. There he sets about a series of grueling interrogations intent on ferreting out the killer and turning him over to the authorities to prevent further bloodshed. So I don't know if he's this ex-cop is trying to capture and interrogate this militia group. I don't know anything about that one. I've spent too much time on that. Got a lot to go through. Dead Detectives. Shudder original. I don't know anything about this. They look like Ghostbusters. Oh, it is like a ghost hunting thing. Dead Detectives, huh? Oh, and this one's signed by someone. Doug Godino's House of Rathakith. Director's cut. To Brendan, Stay Cool from Kyle Rappaport. And Doug Godina, the director, has it signed. This is probably something that Retro T-Barone gave him. Now he's sending it to me, but kind of cool to have this. The director signed it. Don't know anything about that. Yeah, it says it has cool creature and monster effects. Probably some fun independent movie. Raging Bull with Uwe Boll. I think, I'm not going to go over this. I think this is when Uwe Boll challenges his critics to boxing matches and beats the crap out of all of them. Not that that's going to make his movies any better, but you like to see those little smart-ass critics get their ass beat. They seem pretty humble about it, though, after the fact. Let the Right One In, the vampire movie. I haven't seen this one. Is this a classic or is this a newer movie? Anyway, good. Bail Out. I gotta watch this with Linda Blair and Hasselhoff. I'm glad to have that one. Fiesta de Madrizas. I don't want to watch a bunch of women hurting themselves, beating each other up on the street. Is that what that is? I think I already sent this to him. Mario sent me this one. I sent it to Tight White, and he sent it back to me. Okay. Apocalypse Earth with Adrian Paul and Richard Grieco. Heck yeah, on Blu-ray. Fan of those guys. I'm sure this movie's trash, probably like a sci-fi original, but oh man, I can't stand Will Ferrell. But this movie's pretty funny. Step Brothers, I didn't have this. My sister loves Will Ferrell. I can't. He drives me nuts. And John C. Reilly. This movie's pretty funny. Like The Purge. I think I might have this. The weird thing about The Purge is when I was a kid, I had this reoccurring nightmare. That one night out of the year, everything was on. Like there was, you couldn't be prosecuted for any crime. Killing was allowed. And I remember in my dream, we would always hide in the house, and most people were cool and just would hide and lay low. But you could hear like gunfire and people fighting outside. It was a nightmare I had. I don't know what made me think to have a nightmare like that or what was going through my mind, but I remember that was, and I forgot what they call it. We called the day when in my dream, like, oh, it's like kill day or death day or whatever it was, but it was super terrifying. I remember as a kid, I'd have this nightmare, and I don't know how that thought that got in my mind to have a dream like that. But I remember I had, that was like a recurring nightmare I'd have. Like one night out of the year, everything was allowed, killing and everything, and looting and stealing. But now that looks like there's a movie series about that. So someone got into my mind and made that movie. Apocalypse Ninja. I don't know anything about this, but this is definitely staying in my collection. Oh, Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa's in it from Mortal Kombat and The Rising Sun and Showdown in Little Tokyo. Okay, I'm happy to have that one. Oh my god. The Raven with John Cusack. Is this based on the Edgar Allan Poe? Oh, it is. Wait. I don't know anything about this movie. It looks like it's a pretty high budget movie. Sorry if I'm not going through some of these. If I don't have anything to say about it, I'm just going to go through them. Oh my god. Oh, is this Louis C.K.? Oh, I didn't know he had a TV show. Is this something like he has a TV show? Maybe it's something like Curb Your Enthusiasm with. I didn't realize he had a TV series. Oh well. Oh, excellent to have this. And I already have these two movies, but it's nice to have them compact onto one. Road Warrior, probably my favorite Mad Max movie, and then Beyond Thunderdome, which is great as well. Yeah, I can't say enough good stuff about these George Miller Mad Max movies. Even the new one's good with Tom Hardy. This has got to be my favorite though right here, Roadway. Actually, you know what? The first one is Mad Max is my favorite. I don't think it has the high budget, but it's something about the movie is always terrifying to me. The toe cutter Joe or whatever, the villain, so freaking evil. Sidney Poitier and River Phoenix, Little Nikita. I haven't seen this. Fantastic. I gotta watch this. Richard Lynch is in it. Music by Marvin Hamlet, that did The Spy Who Loved Me. Oh, frick, man. I should have watched this before I did the video. Action-packed thriller, espionage, patriotism, starring Lifetime Achievement winner Sidney Poitier and River Phoenix. This must be an older movie. River Phoenix is an all-American high school student applying for the Air Force. Roy Paramenter is FBI. Sydney is an FBI agent. Grant. A background check when he discovers Grant's parents were undercover Russian spies disguised as Americans. When Parmenter confronts Grant about his parents, he is forced to make decisions that could save the entire country. Heck yeah, dude. This is a... thanks a lot. That made my day right there. I didn't even know about this movie. Sidney Poitier is probably one of the best actors that ever lived. Oh, I already had this one. If anyone needs this, and this is sealed, Scorpion King 4. One of those like straight to Sci-Fi Channel things. This is a lot of fun because of the cast. It's got all these MMA fighters and WWF fighters and kickboxers in here. I know Don the Dragon Wilson's in it for sure. Michael Biehn is in it. Rutger Hauer is in it. Holy crap. And I know a Big Country is in there. And Hoist Gracie, Lou Ferrigno. Probably the best cast in any movie ever. The main guy, I don't really know much, but I think his name is that Victor Webster? He's pretty cool in it. Yeah, Hoist Gracie in a movie. Oh, Black Christmas, unrated. Is this a remake of the... Isn't there an old movie called Black Christmas? Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I watched that at Christmas time. Project Gemini. Oh, looks like a cool space thriller. Has a bunch of like Russian or Ukrainian names in here. I don't recognize anyone. It looks like it's like a foreign movie. It might be cool. Gemini. Whenever I hear Gemini, I'm a freaking nerd. I always think of Gemini Man from Mega Man 3. That's probably the first time I ever heard that word, Gemini, when I was a little kid and I played Mega Man 3. Good gosh, this just goes on. Louie. Oh, here's another season of that. And then I'm not big into stand-up comedian. It's funny, but I can take it or leave it. Dustin Hoffman, John Voight, Midnight Cowboy. This is the one I sent him, and he sent it back to me. He must be a homophobe or something. Doesn't like these gays. This is a fantastic movie, though. Everyone talking at me. That Barry Nelson song is fantastic in here, and the soundtrack's by John Barry, my favorite movie composer. Holy crap, this just goes on and on and on. This might be an hour today. Sorry, everyone. Oh, man. Okay, Takers. Man, this looks like an all-star cast right here. I don't know anything about this. As cool as Ocean's 11, so probably a heist movie. Takers. Matt Dillon, Paul Walker, Idris Elba, Jay Hernandez, Michael Ealy, Tip Paris, T.I., Chris Brown, Christian Haydenson. Big impressive cast there. This guy Idris Elba, I think he would be my new man crush. Like, he's so cool in movies. Like, he could be the new cool British actor guy. Like, back in the day there was a lot of cool ones like Christopher Lee and Sean Connery and Roger Moore, Michael Caine. Like, this guy might be that now. Idris Elba. Thing is, he's not in a lot of things I really like, except for that new Lion movie. But if he could be in some cool movie, like back in the day type movie, he might be up there for me as like a new modern actor. Matt Dillon's in here. Paul Walker passed away, right? He was a Studley guy from those. I sent him this one. I don't think he watched it, and he sent it right back to me. Or did I send... No, I sent this to Mario. I'm hoping he watched this. I think he did. This is a cool movie, Cage Fighter. I like this movie. It's low budget, but nice looking movie. Nice quality movie. A cool sports action movie. MMA meets pro wrestling. So this is right up my alley. Gina Gershon from one of my favorites, the Best of the Best 3, is in here. She plays like the promoter, like the owner of the MMA company. She's a pretty cool character. Mickey Rourke and the wrestler. I guess I gotta watch this. I've never wanted to watch this. This movie always looks so stupid to me. Everyone says it's fantastic, though. It looks just so pretentious to me. I don't know. But I like Mickey Rourke. I'd rather watch Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man again. And I think this has some wrestlers in it, like Ernest Miller. Oh, Marissa Tomei is in it. Oh, Darren Aronofsky. That's a good director right there. Okay. Yeah, we're getting down to the end. Oh, what's this? Oh, heck yeah. Oh, no, this... Oh, I was thinking the one with Blue Diamond Phillips, but Red Water. Is this a foreign, like a Chinese or Korean shark movie? I think he said this is really bad, but I'm glad to have it in my shark collection. I'm never getting rid of shark movies. Cutthroat City. Oh, this is with a nice slipcover. Is this a Blu-ray DVD? It's got Cutthroat City, boyhood friends from New Orleans, lower ninth ward returned after Hurricane Katrina dominates homes, no jobs, no help from FEMA, out of options, reluctant to turn to gangster when offered a shot at turning the situation around by pulling off a dangerous heist. A heist movie with a good cast here. Shamik Moore Tip again is in it. Demetrius Shipp Jr., Cat Graham, Wesley Snipes. Oh, heck yeah. Terrence Howard is a pretty cool actor. Isa Gonzalez and Ethan Hawke once again. This might be a good one. I don't really know anything about that. It must be a newer movie. And then, okay, we're getting down to it. The Washingtons. This is one of those masters of horrors. I think maybe I sent him this and he sent it back because he already had it. Set back in George Washington's wooden teeth are hungry to eat people or something. Oh, best of backyard wrestling. I'm not really a fan of backyard wrestling, especially this kind where they just like burn themselves up and hurt themselves. And these poor kids, like probably are poor and they don't have any health insurance. Their parents don't, and they're hurting themselves. Backyard wrestling. I mean, I guess I shouldn't talk crap about them. Like, they're out doing something physical and they're working together and making stuff happen. I don't think they make any money for it, but just hurting themselves. I was in a backyard league. I was the referee. I wanted to be a wrestler, but I'm glad I didn't. But they were kind of more professional. They had a ring, and they kind of played more like on TV. Yeah, I don't know about backyard wrestling. And okay, here's I kind of saw what this was. I'm super generous of him to get this for me. And this one's packed up in bubble wrap. The only thing in there worth a damn. Oh. Okay. He got me a sealed Blu-ray of Cyborg and Slinger. Oh, man. And I assume this is region free. I've been wanting to get this. I'm a big fan of this movie, Cyborg. I'm a big fan of Albert Pune, a big fan of Van Damme. So what this Slinger is, if you don't know, is the director's cut. Cyborg is the Van Damme cut, the one we know of. And I don't have anything bad to say about the final product, the Van Damme version that Van Damme and Sheldon Lettich got a hold of. And the final product they made's fantastic. That's why I like Cyborg, because I like the original cut of Cyborg. However, it was not Albert Pune's vision. He wanted to make it more like a rock video, different music, different scenes, and it was called Slinger, or that's his title for his director's cut is Slinger. And this was the original screening the screening edition they used. They put it in front of a test audience before it was released, Albert Pune's cut. And I guess nobody in the audience liked it. Out of 100 people, one person liked it. I'm hoping if I would have been there, I would have been that one person, because I pretty much love every Albert Pune movie. I don't know, I might not like it though, but I'm really curious to see Slinger, and I hope I like it. But 199 out of 100 people didn't like it, and Van Damme was one of them. He could not stand it, and him and Sheldon Lettich got a hold of it and cut it up and turned it into Cyborg, which is fine. But I know Albert Pune, I don't know if he was kind of bitter or angry about that the whole time, because this was his thing. Like, he came up with this, and this was his story. And this is, now it can be seen in Slinger here. It looks like it has Cyborg and Slinger. Oh man, so fantastic to have this. Thank you, PWM, for sending this. Very cool. Post-apocalyptic action martial art movie. Really dark movie. I guess it's sort of fun, but really dark, post-apocalyptic. The only thing that keeps it from being grounded is all the crazy Van Damme shenanigans, like the splits and all that, which is awesome. All the fighting. Yeah, fantastic movie here. But so I can't wait to watch. I'll get back to you on Slinger, whether I like it or not. I'm hoping I like it. Okay, what do we got here? I think I got everything except for this. One more thing. I wonder what this could be. Could this be a vinyl record? I usually keep these so I can send to other people that Blu-rays, or not Blu-rays, laser disc. What is this? Oh. Oh yeah. Oh, no way. Okay, I'm gonna have to go put this in the laser disc player. I can't believe he sent me this. He must have multiple copies of this. Wow, Night Game with Roy Scheider. Wow, and I didn't have this, and I've been meaning to watch it. The way he hyped this up, wow. So set in Texas, where he grew up, I guess. Is it Galveston? And it's a horror sports movie. And Roy Scheider is the cop out to get the killer. I guess he plays a character very similar to Brody in Jaws. That's from what PWM was talking about. This is a horror movie, a sports themed horror movie. Karen Young is in it, another Jaws actress from Jaws the Revenge. She's so beautiful. And who is the director of this? Peter Masterson. Excellent. Is this all on one double-sided? Oh, heck yeah. Very cool. So, Night Game with Roy Scheider. Yeah, I said that the Astros. Very cool. And I think it might be sort of like a slasher movie too. I don't hear too many people talk about this, but awesome to add this to my laser disc collection. I'm getting crazy with that stupid laser disc collection, just like the darn VHSs. I think that's it. Well, I'm surprised he sent me that. He must have multiple copies of this. This was one of his favorite movies. He was always talking about it. So I'm hoping he still has one. So I got to watch that right away. A Night Game. Heck yeah. Look at this pile of crap. I'm going to run out of room. Can you see it? Oh, okay. Well, thanks for stopping by and watching this. I got under 50 minutes. That's good. You'll have a good time. I'll do something video game related next. I just wanted to share all these movies I got. I'm kind of happy with my VHSs and the stuff PWM scent and my Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. So you guys have a good week, and I'll see you next time.